Sounds terrible.
Hello and welcome to episode 58 of Would John Rather. I'm here joined by two Johns. John.
I'm John.
And this is John.
Hi.
And this is Would John Rather. Tell us a bit about yourselves, Johns.
I'm struggling to get the macro function on my phone camera to work to take pictures of carbon fibres with my fingers to show both of you two.
I'm considering taking up teaching penguins to swim, but I couldn't find the South Pole.
I'm going to assume that was a joke that didn't hit. So, this is Would John Rather, a podcast where
Jokes don't hit.
jokes don't hit.
Rappers do.
Man don't floss, rappers do. And all of that jazz. We ask questions, would you rather questions, to be specific, and we take it in turns now because, well, let's be frank, we got bored of me always asking and you two always answering, didn't we, really? That was
the feedback we got.
That was the feedback we got from all 7 listeners, so hopefully there's at least 8 of you now. And, not that this will help, but John, I believe you're asking questions, are you not?
I was planning to.
Well, let's stick to it.
Okay.
Should we dive right in?
Don't think we dived in recently.
No, I know. I've realised that, and it makes me really sad because I think last episode was one of the first we didn't. And if it wasn't the first, it was only the third.
And anyway, you're going to teach penguins how to swim, so why don't you dive right in and lead by example?
Okay.
Very good.
Would you rather know anyone's deepest, darkest secret just by looking at them, or know instantly how to make anyone laugh?
Yeah, it's a difficult one, isn't it? I'll let you go.
Oh, God. I'd rather not know deepest, darkest secrets. I think it's the one I'd like the least. So I think I have to go with how to make people laugh instantly.
But that could be their deepest, darkest secret, because the worst thing you want to do is be, let's just say you're out on the prowl. I know you're happily married, but let's say you're out on the prowl and you see this attractive girl from across the room and you see her and then you go, oh, okay, yeah, racist.
Because she likes racist jokes.
Yeah. Or because she's racist, that's why she likes racist jokes.
Well, that's fine, because I'm already happily married, so I don't need to go and exclude racist women from my pool of potential suitors.
No, but it does make things more difficult, because most people know to control their bigotry, I guess. And if you can see it, then that makes things more difficult. There's plenty of nice people out there that aren't actually nice deep inside.
Right, okay.
It's our privilege as being human beings that we can keep that a secret.
Just because I know how to make someone laugh doesn't mean I have to go over there and tell a racist joke.
No, but you get to see them.
Whereas if you walk along and you meet someone and then you find out they've got a prolific irrational fear of beards, some people do. I find that amusing that it's such an everyday thing. I can't comprehend what it would be like to live with that, and I wouldn't want to make light of it, but I think I would accidentally do it at some point in time if it came up in conversation.
Wasn't that what my choice was? That I'm allowed to see people's deepest fears, so I wouldn't make jokes of it.
Yeah, but some people have got ridiculous irrational fears, and I'd be scared that I might make light of them, and that would be really insensitive. So that's why.
But you picked to make people laugh, so you know what makes them laugh.
And then you told me that I would apparently had a racist radar on me.
No.
I could pick up racist 60 miles away.
No, John, my point was that you could see everyone in the room what would make them laugh the most. And chances are, unfortunately, that a lot of those things that would make them laugh the most is also what makes them a bad person. I can see what everyone's scared of the most, so I'm essentially a superhero.
I don't think any less of anyone who goes to see Frankie Boyle. I've watched Frankie Boyle stand up, and he made a Madeleine McCann joke, and some of the audience went, ooh, and he just turned around and said, you came to my fucking gig, You didn't come here for puppies and smiles and sunshine. Deal with it. You know why you're here. And then some of the rest of the audience applauded him and said, better
But
shout.
there is a big difference
we know
between shock humour and genuine humour. There are people that tell risque jokes because they're funny because they're risque, and there are people that tell risque jokes because they're funny because they're laughing at the content. Whereas with me, I'm allowed to see what people are scared of, and I can protect them from that.
Not necessarily what they're scared of. The question was their deepest, darkest secret. It's not necessarily what they're scared of. I mean, I guess it could be
they're scared of people finding out.
Yeah.
Oh, their deepest, darkest secret. Right. So, what about those people that have done something wrong in their lives by accident, or when they were younger they had a real bad lapse of judgment? It's something that haunts them. That they don't want to be defined by that moment because they're trying to carry on with their lives. You're not going to know all the rectification they've tried to do in the world to make amends. You're only going to know their deepest, darkest secret, and you're going to judge them for it, whether you want to or not. People make snap choices and decisions. It's unfortunately we were all prejudiced against certain things, and we try our best not to act on them. But you're going to have the hang-ups.
But that's the same with knowing what they find funny. I'd rather know what the worst, their deepest, darkest secret. It could be the one thing they regret. Whereas if they find it funny, it might just be the funniest thing I find alive is balloons or clowns or giraffes. It could be, but every now and then you're going to find that one person who is going to be something bad or sordid. Whereas at least with me, everything's going to be bad, and I'm going to be able to sort through the muck. Everyone's got something.
I'd rather deal with the 1 in 100 people that found Nazi memorabilia entertaining, and just
not talk to them.
The normal things. Yeah, just not talk to them, or tell a not joke that I know is not going to work.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's living a life of quite awkward interactions with people. If you know the deepest, darkest fear, and it's something that could be truly shocking. Someone's probably going to have a deepest, darkest fear of, I shoplifted once when I was 10. Oh, I hope I don't get caught out. That actually probably means you're a good human being. That's all you've really got to hide.
I think people are generally more good than they are bad. I think everyone's got badness in them, but not everyone's got goodness in them. That's my genuine belief. But I do think people are generally more good than they are bad, because otherwise people wouldn't obey the law.
Well, the law's brought in so people would obey it, because it's fiscally more damning if you go to prison. That's the deterrent, is losing your income, losing your livelihood, and losing time. People don't want to respect the law because they want to be nice people. It just becomes more of an inconvenience to go to prison than it doesn't.
Depends on what you.
People murdering each other's land. That's why law and order was brought in. Because if I wanted your land and I had a bigger sword than you, I'd go and run you through with it, and I'd just take your land. And that's not really fair. So what they're doing is they're making it more difficult.
It's not fair, but that is how we got, the British Empire.
Yeah, we did have a bad habit of turning up and just claiming things were ours.
And pretty sure back then the biggest fear was the British Empire.
Either that or scurvy.
Yeah, true. But
okay, so I think what it boils down to is what's going to be more useful, being able to make people laugh or knowing how to blackmail them?
Well, knowing how to blackmail them, because, you've worked in politics, John. You tell me.
Well, what kind of world do you want to live in?
Blackmail doesn't make you friends.
I'm pretty sure that politicians generally make more money than comedians.
I'd beg to differ. I'd like to ask Michael McIntyre that question.
Well, I haven't heard of Michael McIntyre actually in a very long time.
Because he's doing so well, he doesn't have to do comedy gigs left, right and centre. He runs his own Saturday night show.
He did. Is that still going?
On and off. It doesn't run continuously, it runs in fits and starts.
How many politicians can you name and how many comedians can you name? I reckon you can name more comedians.
Very probably, but...
I can name lots of old MPs because I remember the disgraced ones. Ed Balls.
I think fear works better than laughter, and you only need to look at the way the world's run.
You attract more flies with honey than vinegar. I'd rather make 10 friends than know how to kill one enemy.
But if you know how to kill all your enemies, that's better.
Then you'd have know enough to make friends with.
Talking about power.
With great power comes great responsibility.
I think I'm going to call it there. And I think, on balance, I'd prefer to make people laugh. I was just thinking about
your previous career choices and how it makes it seem bad if you'd rather people feared you.
I was thinking more about if you just stuck with your same friendship group. If any of my friends, you guys included, I suppose, have got a secret that I don't already know, then it's probably quite bad. And maybe the reason you kept it a secret is because it would affect our friendship. Whereas if I could just make you laugh all the time and you could laugh at my puns for once, then that would massively improve my life. So making people laugh wins.
Thank you very much.
Has anybody got anything they'd like to recommend? If they don't, I could recommend something.
Oh, suggestion of the week.
Yeah, suggestions.
I recommend that everyone with a push bike goes tubeless. It's a very cool thing to do, and for all those commuters out there goes, I get punctures of inner tubes. Just go tubeless. Your tyres will heal themselves. It's all good. You can run lower PSIs. It is the way forwards.
That sounds like a really nerdy suggestion. John, what did you have?
I was going to suggest that. Well, I was going to recommend email. It outlasted MSN. If you haven't picked it up already, still useful today. Still useful.
You get it from all your local news agents.
There is nothing that's ever been said in a meeting that couldn't have been done via email.
Quite right.
And you can attach pictures of cats to it.
This is true.
Email pictures of cats to people across the internet. That's what the internet was made for, wasn't it? Sharing cat pictures.
Yeah, and unfortunately I'm recording a show for the internet and I've had to lock my cat out of the room because he keeps treading on my keyboard every time I try and do anything.
Oh, those cats.
Those crazy cats. So yeah, I would strongly recommend email over inner tubes or whatever it was he was suggesting.
Going tubeless. It saves weight.
Yeah, but if you go tubeless, then John won't be able to get to work because he lives in London.
See, that is much funnier, and I appreciate that much more than you knowing I had a crippling fear of spiders, which I don't.
Well, now I know.
For example.
You got a second question for us? I need to redeem myself.
Sure. Would you rather have rare baseball cards currently worth around, let's say, £100,000 just handed to you, or a diamond worth $500,000 buried in a chest and 3 other people all have a map?
How many of these baseball cards?
5.
5. Then I'll have the baseball cards because $500,000 £500,000 cards.
No. Collectively, they're worth 100,000.
Oh, then
So 20 grand each.
Still the baseball cards.
Why?
Because I would rather have 100% chance at 100 grand than 25% chance at 500 grand.
So, well, I need to attach a GoPro to myself and treat it like a Goonies adventure. Because then, even if I don't win it, I could sell the film rights to The Great Adventure, and then I'd try and recoup some of the costs back that way.
And you think the guy that won it didn't have the same idea, but he's the guy that won it. They're going to buy his rights.
No, because he or she is just going to buy a fast car and a big house and squander it.
Okay, so you genuinely think that you will make money off of these rights from losing this money?
Well, no, that's if I do lose. But if I win, because we all know that my family apparently come second to the Friday 13th escapades of self-preservation. As we discussed 2 weeks ago when I said I'd use my child as zombie bait. You got to do what you got to do.
Okay, then that's fine. But if you lose, I'm going to use my £100,000 and invest in you to make that film and make myself millions. If you're that confident.
I'm pretty confident.
Guaranteed is much better than a maybe. I'd much rather have a tenner than maybe have £100. And that is on a scale that is not apparent because the scale we've got is £100,000 to £500,000. So I'd much rather have a tenner than maybe have £50. I'd much rather have £1,000 than maybe £5,000.
I can read a map pretty damn well, and when it comes down to it, it's about who wants it more.
No, it's about who you're against.
It's about who wants it more.
It's about who you're against.
What, Indiana Jones and Lara Croft? I don't think so.
You don't know who the other people are.
As long as it's not Bear Grylls, I reckon you've got a fighting chance.
I know for a fact that you've never gone treasure hunting in your life.
I have. Well, not to like the Amazon basin or anything like that.
Well, how do you know it's not at the fucking Mariana Trench?
The Marinara Trench.
Yeah, exactly. How do you know it's not there? How are you going to get there?
Secret recipes written down.
You don't know where it is. Well, you do know where it is because you've got a map, but you don't know what resources these other people have got.
Thing is, it's all hypothetical, really. I could just state that on my map, the X marks the spot is in my back garden. John's not unfortunately given us any sort of scope or any trail, because I think it would be...
Yeah, but
more like a Dungeons and Dragons Adventure Explorer podcast, and it would be a argument and debate.
But even if it was a case of, okay, there's 4 of you and there's a chest in the middle, go. I don't believe your fighting technique is good enough to fight everyone else off. And if it is further abroad, you're going to need permission to go and find it.
Nicely covered up for your phone going off.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, lack of conviction there. My phone is in silent. That's how much I want it. I want to win this episode without being distracted. Imagine what to do to win a chest full of diamonds.
To be perfectly honest, that is an alarm I forgot to turn off yesterday. After damn, I'm going to shoot myself in the foot by saying what I was about to say. So we'll continue.
Anyway, baseball cards are only worth what someone's willing to pay for them.
Everything's only worth what people are willing to pay for them.
In the UK, I don't think you get as good a rate as if you went to the States, where baseball's actually a thing.
So I'd go to the States.
So then you've got to buy plane tickets to go to the States, and then you've got to find a broker. If I just turn up with £500,000 worth of diamond, I could go to almost any jewellers and be like, look, I've got £500,000 worth of diamonds, and they'll either go, yes, here is some money, or they'll be like, whoa, that's way too much for us to handle. I talk to this person instead. I think having
I've got five of these baseball cards that are worth £20,000 each, and I need to sell them to make the money, but I can only sell them in America. You know what? I'll sell one of them for £10,000, so I've got enough money to fly to America and live a fucking life of luxury, so I can sell the other for £80,000. Thank you very much. You've now got a map while you're racing 4 other people to find this place where this fucking diamond is.
Yes.
How are you gonna get that money to go to where it is? That diamond is off the coast of Madagascar. Go. How do you get there?
I jump in my car, I drive down to Heathrow, I stick it on my credit card, and I get there and I get it. Job done. You've
now flown
before the end of the month with my massive diamond money.
You've now flown to Madagascar, but it's 400 miles off the coast of Madagascar. Ooh.
I find some guarantee with the boat. I'll hire his boat. I go get the diamond.
Okay, that's so far quite expensive, but it's not just floating on the ocean there, John. It's fairly deep down.
You know what I'm going to use, Matt? You know what I'm going to use? I'm going to rent some scuba gear and use my goddamn scuba diver license that I've earned. Because I'm the only one of the 3 of us that has a scuba diver license. So thank you for putting the ball ball in my court or the diamond in my fishing net.
And then you find out that it's actually an underwater cave.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know this. He's not one of the people with a map.
Well, for £500,000, I'd at least give it a go.
Yeah, but it's all that effort for £500,000 when you could just have £100,000 handed to you.
It's exciting. It's the adventure. It's the stories you could tell about it.
That is a good point. What's a more interesting story? I raced around the world, went in an underwater cave, fought off baddies, or I scoured the internet and found some nerds who wanted to spend £100,000 on baseball cards.
How do you think the rich people of the world have got rich? Because most of them is from minimal work.
Matt, could you tell me like 5 MVP type baseball-y people that might be interested and exciting to your local peers in this country?
I don't need to. It's as you said.
I got a first edition.
As you said,
good for you.
Everything is worth what people are willing to pay for it. And how do you know while you're searching for this diamonds that all of a sudden, oh no, I've used my £100,000 to start a new diamond mine. And diamonds they're suddenly not worth what they were. Soz.
Okay, I've made a decision, and I definitely respect that 1 in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. But there's more to life than money, and it wasn't what I was expecting to happen, but I think the adventure actually won it out in the end. Adventure is worth more than it's worth more than just money. You got too zoned in on the money, and actually the adventure sounded really great. And you might actually end up with loads of money, or you don't, and you just got a load of adventure.
You've got an awesome story that you could sell to Hollywood.
Yeah, well done.
This is bullshit. This is absolute bullshit, because I know for a fact both of you, if offered £100,000 or maybe £500,000, neither of you would risk it. This is bullshit.
Well, it depends. Have you got me a treasure map, or have you got me guaranteed £100,000? And anyway, I'd take a look at the map and go, is that feasible?
No, you're not allowed to see if it's feasible. You're just told these are your choices.
John's made a decision.
Yeah, John's made the wrong decision.
I'm going to wear some tight tan colour hot pants and a black tank top and walk around shooting people with pistols.
Look, let's be honest. If it is the wrong decision, it wouldn't be the worst decision I've ever made.
True. You know
still
what?
Friends with us.
I'm pretty sure I've just lost 2 questions in a row. Just let's get this third one over with.
Aww. Okay. Would you rather have scissors for hands or hammers for feet?
Hammers for feet?
Oh, shit.
Because so I'm struggling with the bitch. All I can picture myself now is right now I'm sitting on my kitchen counter with my legs swinging below. All I can picture is like 2 ball peen hammers. Like the front of the ball peen is where my toes are, and the little round ball end of it is where my heel is. Or are we talking like I've got hammer toes?
In my head, they were like sledgehammers, because you still got to be able to stand up on them.
Okay. So I've got
but all I
small, really heavy feet.
Yeah.
That's fine. I could hide that in a van slip-on. I'd pick the ball that slides to like step on my toes, and I just hoop it in the nats. Slip the slip-on back on and then clank away.
Okay.
Well,
I could be like John Claude Van Damme. I just kick through doors like constantly. That could be my new job. Work for the police.
It's funny you should say that. It's funny you should say that, because I'd be more like Jean-Claude Van Damme, because there are scorpions and lobsters that have snippers for hands, and lobsters, as far as I'm aware, they're pretty much immortal, are they not? Unless they get killed. So they survive for long enough. So
they're immortal until they get killed. That's how most living things work, man.
No. So yeah, that's how our great grandparents died. It wasn't through old age. It was because they were
immortal
killed.
till they die.
Our great grandparents weren't fucking. Oh, shit. I've forgotten the word. It was right there and then it disappeared at the end. Highlanders. Highlanders.
Okay.
Outlaws.
Highlanders.
Crow.
You die from old age, but lobsters don't. They just keep getting older. And they have snippy snips instead of hands.
Okay.
We're talking scissors, not lobster claws.
I mean, how different is that really? Give me an example. Give me an example of an animal that's got hammers for feet.
Elephants.
Elephants, yeah, poached for their fucking ivory. Try again. Rhinos poached for their ivory. Try again.
I don't have any ivory, so I'm all right.
I'm just coming up with examples of animals that live forever that have similar things to what I've got. And you're coming up with animals that have got similar things to what you've got, and they die quite often early.
Because, just like you, someone is killing me, and then I die. Because that was your argument. Oh, no one kills me unless I die. No one dies unless they kill me.
I can see uses for both hammers and scissors, but there will be times when it might not be appropriate to have your hammer or your scissors out. What kind of sheath or covering are you going to use?
I've already told you, Vans slip-ons. Job done.
None.
Okay.
I'm going to embrace I am what I am, and
Proud.
I'm proud, and I'm just going to say to people, sorry, I can't shake your hand. I have scissors for hands, and they're going to say, oh, surely that's an inconvenience, and I'm going to say, oh, is it? Shh. And I'm just going to, in a second, make them a snowflake out of a newspaper, and they're going to go, oh shit. What else can you do with that? And I say, well, I'm a pretty awesome tailor. And
I can do daisy chain of people.
How? Yeah. Sorry, I thought you meant you could do a daisy chain of people. I was like, all you can do is flatten things.
Kicking doors open.
Yeah. You'd probably be quite useful for the, the oppressive regime that the police and politicians want to do. But I'm here for arts and crafts.
Look, all I know is I can go to the centre of London, no one's going to stop me. You walk out there with blades for fingers, you're getting pulled over. You're going to get dispersed, they're going to send you away, they're going to tell you that, knife crime doesn't pay. Have you
been to your son's school recently? Because the scissors have got these little rubber sheaths they put on the scissors these days. So maybe I've got some of them.
Or you've got paper scissors, little plastic ones.
No, I definitely do not have
scissors.
I definitely don't have paper scissors.
John, I've definitely got real man scissors. Oh, little boy scissors. I imagine your pinky's got the little zigzag cuts on it.
Oh yeah, no, it has. Like I've got my main two fingers are my main scissors. My pinky's got zigzags. My ring finger is like a needle that I use for sewing. And
it's like secretary.
My thumb's a corkscrew.
Swiss Army man.
Yeah, Swiss Army man. But literally, all you've got is you're just a thud.
I'll give you a new nickname. You're a thud. You know me.
Thud. The thud.
That'd be awesome. Because people just start calling you Swiss Tony. You're like a Swiss Army boy.
You know those evenings when you come home a bit tipsy from the pub and...
You think of questions for the podcast?
No, I was going to say it's later than that.
Yeah, he wouldn't know how to think up questions for the podcast because he does it as he's on the podcast.
You're coming home drunk and
you want to take a nice weight off your hammers and put your feet up.
Your girlfriend / wife has already gone to sleep, and you come in with hammer feet. Boom, 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 boom. Oh. That's what I always get told off for, is being too loud when I come home drunk and she's already asleep.
You know what?
I don't know how you're going to do that with hammer feet. Get away with that.
Yeah, but she tells you off for being too loud when you're masturbating.
I'd be incredibly quiet when I masturbate. I couldn't imagine touching myself with scissors for fingers, though.
Oh.
You're going to have a lot of pent-up sexual aggression.
That's why I use my feet.
You could reciprocate as a lover. You couldn't flick any beans. You just no.
Oh, I'm more upset that you said click any beans, not flick any beans.
I said flick any beans.
Ah, okay. Because click any beans makes it sound like it's sort of what's that?
An internet mouse IT joke.
No, I was thinking more. What's the musical?
Stomp, which I could have done.
No,
before.
the musical where they're firing paint at each other. The kids' musical.
Look, I don't like the way this is going. If you've come home and your wife is already asleep, you're not going to be doing that. You're going to be trying to get into bed quietly.
What happens if you want to like spoon her and like put your hand under a pillow and snuggle in? You don't be cutting her ear off accidentally.
Yeah, but you also might crush her shins.
When I stand on her, I don't do that now. Why would I do that when I've got hammer feet?
When you jump into bed.
I don't jump into bed with 2 feet in the air.
You should.
Who physically jumps onto the bed? Right, I'm going to climb on my nightstand and I'm going to 2-foot jump straight into the bed. No one does that, John. Well, no one in this house does that.
Well, some of us do.
Who physically jumps into bed?
Stop.
No wonder you have planes. Leaping off the floor into your bed, trying to make sure you don't wake her up.
Stop this. Don't take her side. Look, scissors win.
Scissors wins.
Scissors wins in the tool that most resembles a rock. Ah, okay. Yeah, I get the irony.
Oh. No, I've made my decision.
And
that's the end of that.
Well, I mean, I knew I was winning, but I didn't think I was going to win that way.
I think I've opened some wounds here. I'm going to text John's wife, just ask her if she's all right.
The fact that he
John's got this new habit of drop kicking me when he tries to get into bed.
Double foot jumps into bed.
Slide tackle.
Anyway, these have been John's, and I've not been. Thanks for listening.
Wait.